Greetings to all. Agenda for today's lecture is strings, string buffer, string builder. So, what is string? String is basically an object that represents sequence of character values. An array of character works same as Java string. Look at that. Actually, the definition for the string is sequence of characters. Sequence of characters. Look at this sequence of characters. If we represent any single character in single quotation, look at that, in single quotation in Java, then we will call that as a string, right? So such kinds of strings, the group of characters is called as string. So I think you know how to create an array. This is a single dimensional array and the data type is char. That means this is the character array, and if you wanted to convert this character array, that means I will open paint. So that is an array, right? So in that array we can have index positions, right? So index position of array starts from where? 0. And in the 0th position, C O L L E G, right? So maybe that is not the in a proper manner. So there is the index position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is the index position 6, right? This is the character array, but we want that character array into string. So look at that. To convert that character array into string, so you need to use you need to create an object for string class. See that? So um, we have many data types, we have many primitive data types like int, char, float, double, boolean, right? um, Along with them, string is also a data type. String acts in two phases. One way is string is acting like a data type, and another way is string is acting as a class also. Here you can see that string is acting as a class. So for classes only we can create objects, right? So this is the object creation with the support of new keyword, and you consider this one as a constructor, right? You know that string, if every class is having constructor, and this one is parameterized constructor. So that parameterized constructor taking a ch, an array as a parameter. So this string taking an array of characters and converting them into a single object, a single string object. So now what it will become? So it will become like a string. So that will be, strings will be represented in double quotation. So the object is S, right? So S is equal to college. You can see here the above two statements can be same as, look at here, if you want to create a string college, so you can use these two statements, otherwise directly you can use this statement also, string s is equal to college. So here you can see the starting letter of data type is capital S. When you observe any data type in Java, they are like int a or float b or char c. Look at that, for all these data types the starting letter is in lowercase letters, right? All the, because int, float, char, all these are primitive data types. So and they will be in small cases only, small letters only. But if you look at here, only for the string data type, so the starting letter is capital, because string is not only a data type but also it is a class. So here I wanted to tell you one thing. The predefined classes in Java starts with a capital letter, and the subsequent words in the predefined class also starts with a capital letter. For suppose if you observe data input stream, so in data input stream is a class, right? Predefined class. And in the data input stream, if you observe D is capital letter, the subsequent word input I capital letter, and after the subsequent words stream S capital letter. So all the predefined, that is the notation for the Java. All the predefined classes will be like that only. So this is string is also a predefined class, and the starting letter, there is no subsequent letters, the starting letter is S, so S is in capital letters. So the above two statements can be modified with a single statement. And you can, how to create a string object, because according to the definition what we said, string is basically an object. Here you can see, for an object, for a class, sorry, for a class, if there is any variable, for a class if there is any variable, then we consider that variable as object, right? So if this is the data type, char is the data type, so for this char, ch is variable, right? So what kind of variable is ch? Ch is a kind of character variable, like this. S is a variable of string, right? So what is that variable means? That variable is an object. So here also S is the object. So there are two ways to create objects. How to create string objects means there are two ways: by using string literals and by using new keyword. So basically, using string, once you create anything using strings, if once you create anything, so those are immutable. That means the variables cannot be changed once you assign the value for that. We will see that practically. So these are the two ways to create strings: by using string literal, by using new keyword. Then we will see how, what is string literal, how to create that. String literal, see that string s is equal to, in double quotation if you write welcome, so that is the representation of string literal. So here you can see what is the use of string literal. We will see that each time you create a string literal, so each time when you are creating strings like this, the JVM, Java Virtual Machine, checks the string constant pool. Pool means a group of a group where the string variables are available. Group of string variables place is a pool. And first, if the string already exists in the pool, a reference to that pool instance is returned. If the string doesn't exist in the pool, a new instance is created and placed in the pool. So what that means, I will tell you. Look at this example. I am creating new strings here, s1 and s2, and these are two objects, right? S1 is an object and S2 is another object. And in our regular scenario, what we will call is um, string S1 is a variable and string S2 is another variable. So there are two different variables are available. So in two different variables, I am storing the same value. So for the same value, I am using two different variables. So here it doesn't create a new instance. See that? Because two values are same, two strings are same, but different variables. So what it will do is, here you can see in the diagram, you can observe very clearly, this is the string pool, this is the string pool, and this is the heap memory. Heap is a memory. Okay, this is the heap memory. In the heap memory we have string constant pool. That means when you create a string literal, so all the strings will be stored in heap memory in the string pool. So when you first create string s1 is equal to welcome, so s1 will be created with a value welcome in the memory. And in the second time, when you are trying to create new object with the same value, so what it will do is, so it doesn't take another memory space for another same value. It doesn't take another memory space, but another object will be created that is referencing the s1, that is referencing the s1, because s1 contains what s2 is willing to have. So what s2 is willing to have, so what s2 is willing to have, that is already available in the string constant pool. That is what it is saying here in this paragraph. Each time when you create a string literal, the JVM checks the string constant pool. So JVM is checking the string constant pool first. If the string is already existed, so welcome is already existed in the pool, a reference to that pooled instance is returned. So already existed means the reference is s1, right? S1 will be s1 reference will be returned to s2. So no new value will be created, but the reference will be supplied. If the string doesn't exist in the pool, new string instance is created and placed in the pool, right? So if there is, in this case, s1 is welcome, s2 is college, so definitely here s2 is college means definitely another memory space for a college will be created. So using string literal, what is the advantage of string literals means, we are saving the memory space, right? We are saving the memory space. So you can see here. And another thing is, by using new keyword, with the new keyword we can create strings. What kind of strings are that? Are those strings are immutable strings. Okay, those strings are immutable. So how to create that? String s is equal to new string of, directly you can pass welcome. So actually when you see that here, when you see that in the first statement, see that here we have created a character array, and that character array variable will be passed here. But here what is happening here, you can see that Directly in the double quotation you are passing the string, and creates two objects and one reference variable. Creates two objects and one reference variable, like what I have showed you in the diagram, right? So immutable, strings are immutable. I am telling repeatedly, what is immutable? Immutable simply means unchangeable. So these are the string methods. We will see some examples. What is immutable practically we will see. I think you have seen these methods. There are many methods like this. There are many methods. I will in the description I will give you the link to download this document, no issue. You can observe each method and you can download also. So I'm writing a program to show that. I'll take S test, string test. Save it. So here I am taking a variable string s is equal to, in the double quotation, college I am giving. So I'm using a method called concat. So here you can see that s dot concat is good. Is good is also a string, right? So now I try to print out that. Print the variable s. Compile this. What may be the output here? So first I have created what? First I have created a string s, and for this s I'm adding another string, so those has to be added. But as I said, strings are immutable, right? Strings are immutable. Then that means we cannot change the value once we have created. So when I try to print that yes, so the reflection, the change will not be affected. The change will not be affected in the um, previous yes object, s object. Okay, but another string will be created, like college is good is another string object will be created. So we will see that. So first d cd space tutorials and java c s test s concat. Cannot find symbol method concat. Why? Concat. concat. Spelling mistake. So then you can see only one string will be printed, that is college. So college only will be printed. So basically what is happening there means when you try to create that, so it will happen. I will open my paint. So what it happened means first one string will be created, that string is college, right? So another will be created temporarily. There is no variable for that. Home. This is temporary. There is no actually we have seen anonymous variables, right? Anonymous. This is anonymous variable, and this this is not an anonymous because it is having name. What is that name? S is the name. So using we are taking S and we are adding is good for the S, and we have not stored this value in a new string variable, right? So actually concatenation will be done, and it will be stored in the pool. It will be stored in the string pool. So but it is not affecting the previous string object basically. So so that strings are immutable. So if you wanted to print, if you wanted to change that thing, what you need to do is you need to reassign. Reassignment is possible. Reassign this thing. Here you can rub it up, and what you need to do is, so college is good. How to do this thing? So only one thing you need to do is, again you use s is equal to. So again assignment is, you need to do assignment for that, so that when you use this equal sign along with the variable, what it will do is, so for the s variable the world value will be removed and another new value, that is this value, will be added, right? I will save it and execute this thing, right? You can see that college is good will be printed, and you can see uh, two objects are created, but s referencing variable still uh, college, not college is good, right? So using equal sign we can achieve that that merging, that means combining concatenation is possible. So why string objects are immutable? If there is, the answer is because Java uses the concept of string literal. Suppose there are 5 reference variables, all references to one object. That means all referencing to one object college. If one reference variable changes, the value of the other objects, it will be affected to all other variables. That is why strings are immutable in Java. Do you understand or not? So for suppose in this diagram, why strings are immutable? So in this diagram only I try to explain. So here the value is college, right? Previously, so if it is referencing, that means there are 5 objects: s1, s2, s3, s4, s5. So for saving the memory, if they are referencing to single object, all these are referencing to single object for all the changes, once there is any change in the one object, so that change will be referenced to all other objects, right? Because if for suppose if I removed value in s, automatically what will happen, so the value of s1 will be removed and up to s5 the value will be removed, but I have removed only one value. What is that? S value is removed. So for that purpose, so because string uses the concept of string here, suppose there are 5 reference variables all reference to one object. If one reference variable changes the value of the object, it will be affected to all the reference variables. That is why string objects are immutable, that means unchangeable, right? So we will see another also comparison. In the comparison, the things you need to observe. So in the comparison we can do in 3 ways using equals method. You can find that in methods equals, equals, and you can compare the string, both two strings with the double assignment operator, double is equal to operator, and you can compare using compare to, compare to, compare to method. First we will see comparison using equals method, right? So the equals method takes, so one argument. So we will see that in practical, then you will understand. I have two strings. I'm trying to create two strings, s1, and another string also I'm creating, s2, s1 and s2, and this is what I am giving is good, right? s1 s2. So and string s3 is equal to college. Again s3 also contains college, okay? And again I'm taking string s4 is equal to, I'm taking college again, but c is small case letters. Now what I do is I will print this method equals system dot out dot println. So println s1 dot equals s1 dot equals s3. I want to know whether s1 and s3 are equal or not. And one more statement, s1 dot equals s2. One more statement, s1 dot equals s4. So I'm comparing s1 with s2, s3 and s4. What may be the result? So see that this comparison always returns, it will tells us, it will return if the condition is true. That means if that statement is, if the both strings are equal, s1 s3 are equal, it will say true, otherwise it will say false. Just again see that true, false, false. First one is true. That means S1, S3 are equal. Remaining two are not equal, so that they returns false. So another thing, we will use a double assignment operator, right? We can check that using double assignment operator also. See that instead of equals, I'm using S1 is equal to is equal, right? Is equal to is equal. I don't. And here also you can use is equal to, and here also. Okay, run the same program, compile, run. Same was returned. And is equal to operator compares reference, not the values. Reference means it compares the addresses. Compares what? Addresses. And what equals to will do is the string equals method compares the original content of the string. So it compares the content. Equals method compares the content. So assignment, that means is equal to operator, comparison operator compares reference, not the values. And one more thing is there, compare to, the string compare to method compares values lexical order. That means lexical means first it will do sorting, string sorting. So we will see that in program. So here we have four strings. So here I'm using s1 dot, I'm using a method s1 dot compare to s3, s1 dot compare to s2, s1 dot compare to s4, compare to s4. So we will compile this thing. Run this thing. See that 0, 35 minus 32. So why that values? The comparative function, if both strings are equal, that means s1 is equal to s2, then it will return 0. If s1 is greater than s2, then it will return positive value, right? S1 less than s2, then it will return negative value. So you can ask me that, so is it possible to have greater than values, less than values? Yes, it is possible. So what I have told you means compare to operator, before comparing it will do sorting. That means it will arrange s1 and s3, s1 and s3 before comparing. So s1 and s3 before comparing, it will arrange in alphabetical order. So all the values will be arranged in alphabetical order. So after that they compare. If they both are equal, it will return what? It will return 0. After sorting, the value s1 is greater than s2. In comparison, after arranging all the values, it will return positive, right? Positive. So that means here you can see both are equal. 35 means 35 means positive value, right? So 35 means what? String s1 is greater than s2. String s1 is greater than s2, and here it gives negative value, right? So string s1 is less than s4, right? I will remove this thing. So we will see concatenation also. In concatenation, for adding two strings, we can use what? Concat function. I have already shown you, right? But instead of concat function, we can use plus also, plus operator. So actually the plus operator is used in the system.out.println for separation character between a value and a string. So that means when you wanted to print anything like this, uh, value in s4, this is string, right? That is as usual as it is, that will be printed on the console. And if you wanted to print the content in the s4, so this is the variable and this is the content, right? So in between these two, plus operator will be used. So plus operator has a meaning of separation between the string and here what? Value, right? Actual value that is presented in the variable. But the same plus operator is used for concatenation also. That means for adding two strings. For adding what? Two strings. For suppose you can see that string, I have taken string plus is good, right? I'm using plus operator there. So printing here, what it will print as it is, it will add two strings, and the two strings will be assigned to one object. So that will be printed actually. Compiled and run. So that will be printed as usual. Here one thing I wanted to tell you is I will write one more program here. One more program means here you can see that. So same string I'm taking 50 plus 66, right? Plus college, and after that here you can see that 5 plus 9. So this is my string. So what it will happen, observe carefully. You can see that first I will do compilation. So done without errors. So running this, see that 116 call is 59. 116 call is 59. Actually what it done is, so it was, see that it was added these two values 50 plus 66. See, so in between these two values the plus is acted as arithmetic operator. When the plus was facing string, so the meaning, the plus was changing its meaning from here onwards, and now the plus is not acting like a arithmetic operator. Instead, it is acting as a concatenation operator. So that, so it was printing college as it is. Then after, for the college, it is adding 5 and it is adding 9 also. So as it is, it was printed as it is. You can observe here. So 116 was in between the two. Plus is acted as arithmetic operator when the plus touches college, when the plus facing string, then immediately from that string onwards the plus is changes its meaning and it is acting as concatenation operator. So 5 was added to college and 9 was added to college 5, right? Interesting. So substring, in the substring also one interesting thing is there, so we will see that also. So first I am taking a string, so here I am taking college. This is string. So in the substring means when you want college is good, okay, college is good, right? So this entire string contains 3 words, college is good. And you can take, you have to consider the, the space also. Space is also character, right? So character means sequence of characters. Everything is a string. Here you can observe, if you want to take only um, college, only college, that means how many characters? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 characters. So I will ask s1 dot sub string of how many characters? 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 7 characters. So 7 characters. I will save this thing. Before that I need to close println also. Save this thing. And what may be the output, what you are thinking? So here you can see, carefully observe. So is good was printed, right? Is good was printed. So that means actually I need to give starting index from index 0 comma 7. 0 comma 7 means what? 0 comma 6, because string is an array, right? String is sequence of characters, that means a character array. So in array the index position starts from 0. So 0 indicates C, so 1 indicates O, right? So 0 to 6. Compilation and running. See that the last character was missing there. The last character was missing. But when you are asking how many characters, 6 characters. Actually the 6th character is E, right? 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. If we are placing the string in the form of array, the sixth one is E, but that one is missing. I asked the program, in my program I said that s that substring, that means I wanted the complete word of college from 0 to 6. So the 6th, the last ending character is exclusive in strings. That means if you want that, you can use that thing as 7 exclusive character. So actually the space, compiled it and run it. So if you want to find, the length of a string, then you can use what? The method, another method, a method called length. As that length, you can use that. And actually in the arrays array dot length member you need to use. There is no function method brackets, just use a member variable. But for strings you need to use method, because string is a class is a combination of variables and methods. Compiled and run. 15. So this entire string length is 15. So we will go to our document. These are the methods, and you can see. Then you need to note one thing, that string objects are immutable. Immutable simply means unchangeable. Once string is created, its data or state cannot be changed, but new string object is created. And one more thing, if you create any string using string class, so then only they are immutable. If you wanted to create any mutable strings, then you need to take the support of StringBuffer class. So Java StringBuffer class is used to create mutable strings. The StringBuffer class in Java is same as string class, except it is mutable. And one more thing, these are classes, right? So every class has default constructor, parameterized constructor if there exist. So class is also, string is also having a default parameter. So string buffer is having these three constructors. So string buffer, this is default constructor. It creates an empty string buffer with initial capacity of 16 characters. So it is capable to store 16. And string buffer, string str, so creates a string buffer with specified length of string characters. String buffer in capacity, you can pass in capacity, so number, you can pass integer number, creates an empty string buffer with the specified capacity as length. So, and these are the important methods of string buffer class. The only difference between string and string buffer is, so string is immutable, string buffer is mutable. Okay, string buffer is mutable. So we will see a program on this. That means I have okay, practically we will see that I have taken a string, but need to remove all these. So instead of string, what I need to take, string buffer. So string buffer s is equal to, again the same thing, that means that is a class. We need to create an object. That object acted here as a variable for us, string buffer. So here college, so string buffer was created. Now I'm taking a method called s.append. So in the string class we have concatenation, concat, concatenation for combining. In string buffer we have append function for combining, right? Here I am taking is good, is another string, right? That was another string. So now I am printing s here automatically, s here. In our previous example, when I did this same program with string class, what happened, only the college is printed, but here string buffer is mutable, right? So without assigning the, so no need to use s is equal to statement here. Without using that, the reflection, the change was affected to s itself, so it will print directly. We'll see, compile java s test and test, see that college is good was printed without assigning. So this was affected in the previous object variable. Okay, so likewise you have to use all these functions I have shown here. All these functions, these are the functions. You can see append, insert, replace, delete, reverse. Okay, you can use all these functions. And one more thing is in our agenda, string builder class, string builder. So string builder class is used to create mutable strings. So string buffer is also used to create what? Mutable strings only. The Java string builder class is same as string buffer class, except that it is non-synchronized. Non-synchronized. So here you need to know what is synchronization. That means, so that is string buffer is synchronized and it is not synchronized. Synchronized means what? For suppose if two programs are accessing the same methods, the same class, same value that was created, same value that was created by string buffer, actually see here, if two programs are accessing value s created by string buffer, so at a time two programs are not allowed to access variable s here. Instead, only one program will be allowed to read this or write the content on this. Okay, when that program, that work was completed, then when that program left this object free, then another program will come and access this variable. That is called synchronization. Okay, what is unsynchronization means? Two programs will come and two programs will be accessed at a time. What is the disadvantage of unsynchronization? See here. Here I have a variable s created with the string or string builder. So in this I have value uh, 10. So there are two programs, another two programs are here. Those two programs are trying to access. These two programs names are program 1 and this was program 2. These are threads, actually threads, a lightweight subprogram of a process. These are threads. So what they will do, actually, if there is a variable here, so the programs accessing that variable means they will do two things. So this program is trying to read this thing and this program is trying to write something onto s. So if they do uh, these two operation at the same time, so p2 is trying to write a new content, p2 is trying to update this content, so update this content to 20. before updating p1 was accessed this variable at the same time, so p1 gets what? Value 10. p1 gets value 10, but p2 was updated that value to 20. So it will give report as 10, but the actual value presented in s is 20. So this report is wrong, right? So instead of this, what it will do is synchronization is doing means, so it will allow only one program at a time, so if p1 is trying to read or write, p1 is trying to write something, so it will allow this p1 and it won't allow this, it won't allow this. Once one program is accessing. So this is called synchronization. Synchronization. So after P1 completed writing, that means maybe P1 is writing, decreasing its value to 1, 10, from 10 to 1. So 1 will be affected and this program left. Then again immediately access will be given to P2. Access will be given to P2, right? So it will do some reading or writing, another action it will perform. So this is all about strings in Java. So the only three differences you can see here. Differences between StringBuffer and StringBuilder. StringBuffer is synchronized, StringBuilder is non-synchronized, and StringBuffer is less efficient than StringBuilder. StringBuilder is more efficient than StringBuffer. More efficient means what? It is not doing any extra action, right? It is performing synchronization. For doing synchronization, one process has to wait up to another process releases that variable. So in this case, waiting time may be longer, so that wise it is getting efficiency, right? And the summary, what are the key points that you need to take from this class is, strings are, if you create any variable with string class, so they are immutable, and string buffer is mutable, and string builder is also mutable, creates mutable variables. But the only difference between string builder and string buffer is, string buffer is synchronized, string builder is non-synchronized. And if you have any doubts regarding this lecture, you can comment below, and you can download this material handout or notes from the description. Thank you.